Hello everyone and welcome to a book haul. This one is all non-fiction. Now, disclaimer before going into this. One, I don't know what these books are about. Two, these were all free when I got them. Number three, I am not a big non-fiction reader. So if I can get non-fiction books for free, that's even better. Some of these I went by the title alone and was like, okay, this might be a little interesting or might provide me with some information. I have not read any of these books. I have not read the synopsis of any of these, so I really don't know what these all are about. I have 25 books on this page to tell you about. Again, these are all nonfiction. If there's something in particular as far as any sort of information genre type tag, I will tell you about that. I'm not particularly excited about any of these, but again, that is only because I don't read a lot of nonfiction. I am very much a fiction reader. I have two favorite nonfiction writers. One is Erik Larson. Really enjoyed that. And there are a few nonfiction books that I've absolutely read. For example, I read Tom Felton's Beyond the Wand memoir or whatever it is. Really enjoyed that. I enjoyed The Disappearing Spoon, which is all different facts about things from the periodic elements from the table. So there are nonfiction books that I do enjoy. There are others that I've picked up and have DNF'd because I found them so boring. If it gives me vibes when I pick it up that it is like a textbook, I am immediately over it. So I just can't stand textbook type nonfictions. So who knows? I have not read any of these yet. Some of these, the title just sounded interesting. And so it's like, you know what, let's see what they have to say. Some of them, it's like I want to hear about something that's maybe a different opinion than my own and learn from someone else's perspective about something so I can educate myself more on certain topics. That could be why on some of these, I don't know. But let's go ahead and delve into this. I don't think this will be too terribly long. It might be shorter than, it'll still be longer than a lot of my videos, but I think it will be shorter than my usual ebook type haul. So again, these are all ebooks. At some point when I got them, they were all free. I will tell you the ratings and the author and all of that. So this first one I have, I can tell you was strictly by the title. Some of them were title and cover, but 100% title. Some of them were a combination of title and the cover. This one's just the title. It says exercise, there we go, exercise your way to a fitter life. I am overweight, as you can tell. I'm not ashamed of it or anything. I do know that for the arthritis on my back, I have arthritis on my knees, I have arthritis on my feet. If I lose weight, it will help alleviate some pressure off of the arthritis. Will it reduce my back pain, knee pain, foot pain, all of that? Maybe. Maybe not. But if I can lose weight, then it'll at least slow the progression of the arthritis getting worse. Hopefully, that's my thought. Could be wrong on that. Who knows? So I thought exercise your way to a fitter life. Maybe this will give me some tips, maybe a little motivation. Who knows? However, this has 1 star. And so thankfully it is only, looks like the Kindle is 120 pages, or the paperback is 120 pages. So, I don't know. I'll still give it a shot, but I would not be surprised if I DNF it. It has 2 ratings with a 1 star average. It says, Harnessing the Power of Exercise for Optimal Physical and Mental Health and Motivation by Gaurav Kapoor. So I have no idea what to think about this one. Let me click on show more. Okay, it says 50 chapters. This book provides in-depth insights into the various aspects of exercise, from the role of exercise in boosting self-esteem and confidence to the importance of making fitness a lifelong habit for overall physical and mental health. See, now that sounds interesting. It's just going to depend on how it's written. You will learn about the various types of exercise and how to choose the right one for you. Again, that sounds interesting. Something that, like, the right one for me right now is just trying to go for a little 5-minute walk. I used to do the Just Dance when it was like the first 4 that have come out, like the year 4 was a brand new one, and there's a lot since then. So it's been a while since I've done that, and I do enjoy dancing, the dancing type stuff. I just can't right now. For one, it gets my asthma going because it's much more vigorous. But I know it is really good for my heart at the same time. And heart disease is prevalent on both sides of my family, so I've really got to be careful with my heart. So I really need to lose this excess weight. Or at least some of it for my heart health. Anyway, so picking the right one for you. There's a lot of different ways to increase activity and exercise, and sometimes I do get overwhelmed with some of the options. Now I'm very limited with what I can do physically, but I would like to be able to do some stuff. And limited time-wise. I can't like go all the way downtown, 30 to 45 minute drive to an hour depending on traffic, and then stand around and do, like, I would love to do archery. I can't stand around and do archery and then have that long of a drive back. I just can't commit to something like that. And I love bowling. Can't commit to that because of my back pain. Anyway, so it's just about all of that. Whether you're an experienced athlete or beginner or just starting out, this book will provide you with the information and inspiration you need to make fitness a priority in your life. See, now it sounds good, but I have never seen a rating that low. Granted, it's only 2 ratings, but still, I have not seen one that low. Okay. Moving on, I have Unveiling the Mask, the beginning of a lifelong journey toward faith and acceptance. This has no ratings, so no star average. This was written by D.L. Gardine, I'm guessing. It does say the Kindle is 106 pages, so this is a shorter book. I'm not seeing any additional genre tags on either of these so far, so just all nonfiction. Many people find that wearing a mask to protect who they really are is very beneficial to them and others. Masking, like with autism. People will hide who they truly are because they are afraid and haven't come to terms that it is okay to be you. Life experiences are put into place for each one of you to overcome throughout this journey, which will help you grow even more. Unveiling the Mask is part of a series of events that will lead you to understand who you are as a person. You will become a master at... Okay, now I'm like kind of thinking I don't want to read this. I don't know. We'll still see, because it says you will become a master at deceit in others and yourself. That's what gives me pause. And then it says God's plan has always been to lead and guide you through the process, which will lead you to victory. My problem with that is, in my opinion, it's like God doesn't want us to lie. So why would you want to be a master of deceit? Because that's more of Satan's tool. In my faith, that's what I believe. So I'm very leery of this. I may just unhaul this one without reading it, honestly, but we'll see how I feel going into it. I am leery. Okay. Next up I have Thinking Like a Fox, the complete guide to a life of adventure and practical wisdom. This has 8 ratings with a 3.75 average. It is written by Zvi Lanier. Let's see. It says, others conform to what they are told. The fox gets things done. Ask, am I a hedgehog or a fox? Do I allow myself to be moved around by others, or am I the one doing the moving? In this book, distinguished decision-making researcher Dr. Zvi Lanier explains how to navigate our thoughts and actions by looking at the decision between the hedgehog and the fox. While one sees the world as a fixed reality that he must conform to, the fox is able to transform himself and his surroundings to suit his nature. See, this one sounds better than the previous one in my opinion, but again, I'm still kind of like, meh, Now this one I am excited for. True Crime Case Histories. This is volume number 8. 12 disturbing true crime stories. I've read one true crime nonfiction book and absolutely had a great time reading it. It has 499 ratings with a 4.2 average. This was written by Jason Neal. I think I will find this fascinating. True crime books are not like other genres. I like to make certain the reader knows that what they're getting into. Real true crime is not CSI. It's exponentially more horrible. True crime fans have been reading these books for years already know this. Even television documentaries will skip over the truly gruesome parts of crime stories. In my books, I don't skip over the details, no matter how disturbing they may be. And so, let's see. I want to see... You'll read some stories that take place as recently as a few years ago, which this was published in May of 2024. Okay, May 1st. Let me scroll back up. Let's see. While others date back as far as the 1930s. There's a story of a young Russian immigrant who came to the United States seeking the exciting lifestyle he'd seen on television, only to be stabbed, set on fire, and left to die in the desert by his own friends. That sucks. So it's true crime, plus many more disturbing stories. Well, yeah. So I am intrigued by this one. This one I am looking forward to. Okay. This one I got because of the title. Well, they're all partly because of the title, but the key word, I'm 40 and I'm getting closer to going through menopause, that stage of life. When I'll hit it, I don't know. It says, let's get to the point, period. Complete menopause self-care book for aging women. Manage menopause symptoms, optimize your emotional health, and embrace this transition. So I thought, where I could be going into menopause at who knows when, this would probably be a good book to read at some point before or during whenever that is. It does say this is only 157 pages, so it's not like it's a big commitment. So, and I'm just going to leave it at that. 17 ratings with a 4.41 average, because that tagline pretty much says it all. This is written by Susan Minahane. I'm guessing that's how that's said. Moving on, I have A Narrow Boat at Large, written by Jo May, 237 ratings with a 4.04 average. It says, this is a long synopsis. I'm not going to read this whole thing. Let's see, revised in January 2021. Jo and Jan May take the crazy, wonderful, life-changing decision to live on a narrowboat. It literally says potty. What that has to do with this, I don't know. The first volume of the At Large series spans 4 years as they began a new life on the canals and rivers of the UK. The first question is, why in the world would anyone want to do that? Well, here's Jo back in 1995. Jan was told by her oncologist that she probably wouldn't see the new millennium. So it's them deciding to leave a fixed house and live on a narrowboat. Might be interesting. Okay. Next up, I have The 6 Pillars of a Rewarding Life, a powerful approach to taking action and living with direction. I thought, where I'm autistic, sometimes I struggle with making decisions. Maybe this will give me some good pointers. This only has 1 rating, 5-star average from that 1 rating, written by Blake DeVos. And it says, are you feeling stuck in the same old monotonous cycle? Do you feel overwhelmed trying to balance your career, education, family, possessions, and health? It's time to take control of your life and make it your own. With the 6 Pillars of a Rewarding Life, you can discover a powerful way to live a remarkable and rewarding life as defined by you. So, again, I thought might have some good pointers. We'll see. Okay. Now this one, I don't know why I downloaded this, because I am not raising a family. So why did I download this book? I don't know. But it says, Raising a Resilient Family, How to Create Strong Connection and Communication in a Deeply Distracted World. That's probably why. Because I struggle with making connections, and so to make a strong connection would be really good. Now, I do have a strong connection with my mom, but to have a strong friendship and stuff like that, maybe this will give me some pointers. That is something that I've always struggled with, is making friends and having strong friendships and all of that. 2 ratings, 5-star average, written by Susan P. Horton, LMFT. I've looked that up, and it's some kind of counselor, I'm guessing. This is a book about solutions. It's about helping families move through the challenging struggles of this current culture while teaching awareness around sometimes invisible obstacles. So 95 pages, be pretty quick to get through. Okay, next I know why I did this one. I've skipped a lot. I have seen a lot of books come forward about AI, artificial intelligence, and I've skipped a lot of those. And I think it's because I remember getting at least one, and that's this one, Power of AI. And I thought I should learn a little bit out of it, since I'm seeing more stuff pop up on like my Instagram feeds about AI. I should know a little bit more about it, of what's probably coming and going to be developing and stuff like that. So it says, learn how Machine Learning is Changing the World as We Know It. This is written by Mark Herbatin. 2 ratings, 4-star average. So to learn a little bit more about AI. 97 pages for the Kindle edition. Should be pretty quick to get through, again, as long as it's not a textbook, because I won't make it that long. Let's see. From healthcare and finance to transportation and marketing, machine learning is revolutionizing the way we live and work. Its potential for automation, optimization, and innovation is benefiting multiple industries and driving unprecedented technological advancements. I do see advancement in technology in a lot of ways as a good thing, like in the medical field. For example, when I had the spinal fusion for my scoliosis, which has helped to create the arthritis on the bottom of my back, and I also have some going at the top, but from the base, about mid of my shoulder blades down to just above lower back is fused. I have 2 rods, I have pins, I have plates, I have a bunch of stuff. And I was in the hospital for over a week recovering from that surgery. I don't remember how long. This was in 2004. So 20 years ago is when I had this done. And I remember when I had my appendix removed, it was just about to burst. I was in the hospital for several days, not quite a week. But now it's for something like your appendix, now obviously unless it bursts, and if you have other health issues and stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm seeing more and more, with my mom's surgeries, it is you're in and out the same day, and they're getting you up and walking, which they weren't really doing before. Part of it is with the advancement in technology, getting better imaging and things like that. And so I do see the benefit of advancement in technology in a lot of places, especially in the medical area. So I thought to learn a little bit about AI and what's kind of coming down the pipeline in the future might be a good thing. So that was my thinking on that. I have About a Hidden Garden. Oh, I would love to have my own garden. Written by Werner Langer. 3 ratings with a 4.67 average. This one's almost 300 pages. It says the Kindle edition is 298 pages. And I do see the word God in this, so it does look like this is going to have some spiritual undertones in it. Who knows? I don't know how prevalent it's going to be throughout this. Let's see. Unless we grant others permission to enter, the content of our heart and mind will remain hidden. Okay, see, now that from that sentence, this is about what I thought it would be. The hidden garden I thought would be more about health and growing a garden, maybe where you can't have a big garden, but having a hidden garden somewhere in your house and literally growing something. This sounds like it's more spiritual based. Might still be interesting. We all possess a hidden garden, and the thoughts we nurture in this private landscape will influence the course of our life. My father is a gardener, Jesus once stated, and that is the foundation of this Christian daily devotional book. There you go. Did not know that's what it was. I literally thought it was about gardening. Did not think this was a religious devotional book. I don't read devotional books. If I'm going to read a religious book, it's more than likely it's going to be scriptures, like the New Testament, Old Testament, things like that. So I might still enjoy it. I don't know. But automatically, this is not quite my thing right off. But I may still give it a chance and see. There might still be some good things in it. But About a Hidden Garden, my mind didn't go spiritual. It went to an actual physical garden. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, moving on. This next one is about exercise. Hopefully it'll give me a little bit more motivation. It is Step-by-Step Low-Impact Exercise Guide to Lose Weight, Ease Anxiety, Increase Productivity, and Regain Your Health. Written by Parker Scripps. 84 ratings with a 4.32 average. So, the proven step-by-step low impact. Okay. I was scrolled too far on the screen. The title is Walk This Way, and I thought where I am pretty much limited to just walking or riding a bike. Now I have to be careful with the bike because it does increase my back pain, so I have to do a stationary bike that has the backrest on it. So a recumbent bike. But where walking would be beneficial, I thought this might give me some good pointers and maybe some motivation. It's only 143 pages. It says, whether you're a beginner or just starting out or a seasoned walker looking to take your fitness to the next level, Walk This Way has got you covered. With easy to follow tips, tricks, and workouts tailored specifically to men and women of all ages, this book is the ultimate resource for anyone looking to improve their health and happiness through the power of walking. There we go. Okay. Next up, I have 11 ways. Okay, you'll hear the title, and I think a lot of people could benefit from just reading a book that has this title, as long as it stays true to the title. But especially like myself, where I tend to believe a lot of things that might not be true, I really need to be able to do this. It's 11 ways to spot fake news. Yeah, I am definitely the type of person that would be vulnerable to being sucked into a not great MLM type of a thing, or being scammed and taken care of. So I do need to learn more of the red flags to watch out for. And like this says, spot fake news, spot fake information, things like that. That would be very beneficial for me personally. I think it would benefit a lot of people. The only downside I'm seeing is this only has 7 ratings with a 3.43 average. So for a nonfiction book, I tend to trust those ratings a little bit more than fiction books. This was written by Gerald Everett Jones. It says, learn how to avoid misdirection on the information superhighway. Not to school hackers, but to warn you. Here are the most common ways someone can bend or break the truth to generate misinformation. It's only 47 pages, so I'll still give it a try and see how it goes from there. Okay, next up, I thought this would be interesting and very informative. Rendezvous with Injustice. And then it says, how a family survived hell after blowing the whistle on the 1MDB financial scandal. Laura Justo is the author. I don't know what that is, but I thought that would be very interesting. So it's kind of like a true crime, except more from the whistleblower's perspective. It is 386 pages for the Kindle edition, according to Goodreads, but we'll see. But that title alone, especially where it's how a family survived hell, can you imagine the company and the backlash that the company tries to throw to the whistleblowers? I find that fascinating, and so that alone makes me interested. Okay, this next one I'm very interested in. So I was born in 1983, okay? Do I remember anything about the 80s? Not really, okay? Mine didn't really fully develop, until probably I remember the one I know memory took place in the 80s. I mean, there's some in kindergarten, first grade. There's a couple of key memories that I have. Do I remember officially think, oh, this is specifically to the 80s? No. But 90s nostalgia. That is the title of this one. Where the 90s were the most influential part of my life, from childhood to teenage years. That was the biggest chunk of that life, and helping gain, through peer pressure and, in my own interests. I look back at the 90s very fondly, so I do like reading about the 90s. 90s nostalgia. Influential moments, movies, music, and more from one of the greatest childhood decades. As far as the movies, Titanic is the one that comes to my mind the most. Music, Britney Spears. Boy bands like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. It was the Battle of the Boy Bands. I remember that when I was in junior high. I was team NSYNC all the way. Still am. I still prefer NSYNC over Backstreet Boys. This was written by Krista Bria. 37 ratings with a 4-star average. So it's only 90 pages according to Goodreads, and I'm not going to read the synopsis on it because it's that influential moments, music, movies, and more from one of the greatest childhood decades. That's all I need to know. That's it. And the cover that I'm seeing on Goodreads is very 90s. Makes me think of Saved by the Bell. With some of the imagery, that's immediately what comes to my mind. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I loved that in the 90s. So, okay, let's go ahead and move on. Humane Physics, the whole story. I thought this would be interesting. This is written by Frances Mott. I do like science. I enjoy science unless it's a textbook type thing. Again, I can't say that enough. So I thought if I can learn a little bit more about physics or something like that, could be interesting because I do like learning. This only has 8 ratings with a 4.13 average. It does have the tag of physics and science. That tagline, the whole story, doesn't really give me much information, so let me read a little bit of the synopsis. It says, this book has helped high school and college students to understand the science of physics, but it also helped intelligent adults to understand what scientists do and how science works. It describes the evolution of science of physics from the human perspective. Biographical sketches, stories of discovery, fundamental principles, social significance, etc. So I thought this would be interesting. I do enjoy science. It was always one of my favorite subjects, although once it entered high school, it became even less so because it was much more complicated and having to keep up with everyone in school, I fell further behind in science and did not enjoy it. So, but to study certain aspects of science on my own time, I do find it interesting. This next one, you'll know right off why I got this one from the title alone. The Cats of America. There you go. The tagline is, how cool cats and badass kittens won the nation's heart. This is written by Seamus, I don't know, Malarkey, 48 ratings with a 4.42 average. I don't need to know anything more about this. The cover that I'm seeing is a cat with a patriotic hat with a sundae with sparklers. I am sold just from the cover and the title alone. I want to learn as much about cats as I can. I thought this would be very interesting. Right up my interest alley. Okay, moving on. This is going to be a hard one for some people to pick up. Does not have a great rating, unfortunately. In the House of a Demon. Now, that title, I immediately think this is going to be like a paranormal horror story. No, this is nonfiction. This is written by Tina Scottoy. I don't know. I'm sure I said that wrong. 59 ratings with a 2.64 average. It's a true crime or a true story. Looks like it's part 1, The Phenomenon of the Witch. Now the title on the image that I'm seeing is The Stolen Child. So I'm not quite sure what the exact title is right now, but I have it written down as In the House of a Demon. This shocking true story of an abducted child, harrowing struggle for survival amidst a horrific Soviet military experiment is a raw examination of the atrocities of war, the resilience of spirit, and the existence of the supernatural. That's all I know. That's all I want to know. Nonfiction, I don't really want to know a lot going into it because then my hopes of how good it's going to be and how text-like it's going to be gets very high. So I'd rather not go in with high expectations on nonfiction because I tend to be disappointed quite a bit sometimes with nonfiction. So that sounds really good. Why it has a lower rating? No idea. But it sounds good. Okay. I want to learn as many languages as I can. I only know one, and that is the language that I speak. And even then, I still struggle. But I do want to learn more foreign languages. I have on my phone Duolingo. I am trying to learn Spanish. My second choice is going to be ASL, but I want to learn other languages too. I want to learn German. I want to learn Russian. I want to learn Vietnamese, Chinese, and this one is the Complete Japanese Workbook for Adult Beginners. Speak Japanese in 30 days. I doubt that. This is by Explore to Win. If you're a fan of Japanese anime, manga, movies, or video games, but find the language intimidating, fear not. So when I'll get to this one, who knows, but I would love to speak multiple languages. So who knows how quickly and easy I'll pick up on some of these. So let's go ahead and just move on. Next I have 5 and 20, an NYPD cop story. This is written by Robin Ramos. I know I'm saying that weird. 48 ratings with a 3.85 average. And this is what it said that made me go, now this nonfiction sounds like it could be good. It's this sentence here. It says, want to know what it's like being a rookie cop in one of the most dangerous precincts in America? That's what it is. So, of course, I want to learn more. I've wanted to either be a teacher growing up or something in law enforcement like a police officer. I cannot stomach having to be a police officer with this accidents and the blood and see. Now I can read all the gore I want. The gorier the better in books because I know it's fake. To read true crimes, I know it's already said and done. Be gory, I don't care in books. But to go and physically see it in person, there's just something different than reading like a true crime book that's very gory. I can handle the gore in that, but to go and see it in person, I think it's because reading it in the book, you don't have the emotion of a bunch of people around you. You go in person if you're going to see it, like a lot of the police officers do. You're meeting the family on the worst day of their lives where they have this family member that's been killed or something like that. And having to deal with that and tell them, hey, your family, this loved one that you thought was coming home was never coming home again. I could not deal with that. And so I've always wanted to go into law enforcement in some capacity to try and help people, but I would fall apart on day one. I tried. I was a 911 dispatch operator, never finished the training. I could not handle it. So I lasted less than a month into that job, like maybe 2 weeks. If that. So I just found out that it is not for me, unfortunately. It still fascinates me to no end. And to read the true crime stuff and watch true crime documentaries, fascinating, love it. Could not do it in real life. I just do not have the mental and capacity to anything to do it. Okay, this next one is, I thought would be interesting because I have a lot of immigrants from my family. If you're here in America, if you look far enough back, and I'm sure in any country, but definitely at least for me personally, I have family that immigrated from Germany, from Russia, from Prussia, from Ireland, from Wales and London and Spain and, and I even have some Native American heritage as well. I have some, I looked at this ancestry thing and it even mentioned Africa at one point. So I don't know for sure on that. I haven't seen any more. And that was just kind of in passing. So I don't know if that was a mistake that has been corrected or if that was true. I just don't know. So, but the title of this I thought would be very interesting and would shed some light on some immigrants and the life and be touching and very moving. American Immigrant, why we left, why we came. We know very surface level. And so I thought to delve more into why people flee, from religious persecution, to have some religious freedom, families that maybe have a bunch of women that want to give women some freedom and flee a country. What about people that are in countries that you're persecuted and killed for being gay, wanting to leave those countries to where they can have freedom to be who they are? People leave their country and homeland for various reasons, to have a better life. That is the fundamental underlying thing, to have a better life, safer life, more freedom, whatever it is. And unfortunately, there are some that come vindictively and they say that's what it is, but they're really terrorists and they're lying in wait. I have heard of that and people have been caught with that, is my understanding. Because I have seen some news stuff. Was that true or was that fake? Who knows? But that would not surprise me that there would be organizations out there like that. But even people that talk about leaving America, they think life would be better over in Ireland right now or Scotland. And I have family from Scotland, so I have family from all over the globe, a lot of places. And so I thought this would be very interesting and maybe make me think and reflect a little bit more on my own family history and motivate me to look more into my own family history. I don't know. This is written by Pippa Praline and has 35 ratings with a 3.94 average. So I just thought with immigration and having a lot of people immigrated to America from my family from generations back, the most recent one that I'm aware of as of right now, I've always thought we had family from Holland, and that may actually not be true, from the Netherlands. I don't know for sure, but that's what's been told. We may have had family from the Netherlands, but they may have immigrated to Russia, and then from Russia moved from here to America. Or maybe they moved from Russia and they said they were from the Netherlands to try and be safe from Russian people. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know I have family from Russia and Prussia. I have yet to find any from the Netherlands, although it's always been said I have family from the Netherlands. So I don't know for sure what's true in that scenario, but I definitely want to look more into that. But I thought where I have, I was saying the most recent is my grandma's grandma. So my great-great-grandparents immigrated from Russia. So my grandma's mom, both of my grandma's moms, so both sets of grandparents. So her mom's mother and father and her dad's mother and father all immigrated from Russia here to America. So that's what I found on the little bit of family history that I have looked into and done. Don't know more about it than that, but so that's what I found out. And so I thought this would just be very interesting. Okay. We are on the last 5 books of this video, so this should go fairly quick, especially now. Now I am interested in a little bit in politics. I do want to learn more so I can be more of an informed voter, but when I have tried to learn more about politics, it tends to make me, one, confused, which is politics. I do find aspects of it interesting, but it also tends to really irritate me. Makes me mad, especially how people treat each other in politics. And I am getting sick of politicians tearing the other party down, tearing each other down, rather than saying, look, this is the problem that I've identified, or that we as a party have identified, and this is our plans and steps to do to make things better. So focus on that rather than tearing the other opponent down and saying they're lying, they're a liar, they're two-faced, they're this, they're that. How about you focus on what you're going to do, and if you say what you're going to do and do what you say you're going to do, I think it would be a heck of a lot better. Is that wishful thinking? I'm very much sure it is. So speaking of politics, this next book I thought could be interesting. It looks like it's going to have aspects from both sides, although now it does not have a great rating. From what I can see for a nonfiction, it only has 6 ratings with a 3.17, and the book I am talking about is Woke Richard's Almanac and MAGA Richard's Almanac. No, not MAGA. 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 It's MAGA. M-A-G-A. Make America Great Again. The whole thing with Donald Trump. So this is written by Benjamin Branklin, and the editor is Clay Tucker. So it's only 65 pages, so it'll be a fairly quick read. The whole Woke Richard's Almanac and MAGA Richard's Almanac. That title sounds interesting, and so maybe they'll kind of poke fun at politics. I don't know. It says, in these divisive times we live in, here comes a book that will likely do absolutely nothing. A 2-in-1 so it is a satire. A 2-in-1 satire of Franklin's original Poor Richard's Almanac that takes a few jabs to the left, and a few jabs to the right, with a misguided ambition of maybe laughing at ourselves. But hey, you'll probably like half of it, so why not give it a try? I do not identify with either side. Okay, I'm going to say that. There are things on both sides that, depending on how they handle it, that I can agree with, and things on both sides that I will disagree with. I do not say that I'm a fence sitter. For me, I don't look at Republican versus Democrat or blue versus red or left versus right. My opinion is, you tell me what the problem is that you have identified. Do I agree that that's a problem? Yes. Are there other problems that are more important and should be more of a priority than this one? Yes. Or are you saying this is more of a priority compared to all these other things that I think are bigger priorities? That's what I look at. I look at the issues and what you're planning on doing to fix said issues and to make things better for the future. That's what I look at. I don't care what side of the fence you are on. I want to know what you see as an issue and what you plan to do to fix the issue. That's what I want to know. And depending on what comes out of your mouth will sway whether or not I vote for you. Whether that's left or right, don't care. Okay. This next one I thought would be very interesting, very eye-opening, and very informative as well, just from the title alone. This one has 22 ratings with a 4.05 average, and the book is Life on the Streets, Stories of the Homeless. And so I thought this would be very good. It is written by Obie Oliver. And It says it's a heart-wrenching book about the realities of what it's like to be homeless, told through interviews with people living on the streets. I thought it would be very eye-opening and something that should probably, it sounds like that more people should read. I don't know. The Kindle edition, according to Goodreads, is only 140 pages. So we'll see how it goes, but I think it will be definitely eye-opening. This next one I thought would be very interesting. Again, it's kind of like a true crime thing. I love the true crime stuff. So yeah, I love the true crime stuff. This is no exception. And this one I thought would be interesting. The Psychology of Evil. Understanding the minds of serial killers, psychopaths, and sociopaths. This is written by Michael Pace. It has 50 ratings with a 3.82 average. And yeah, in the depths of the human psyche lays a deep fascination with the enigma of evil. What drives individuals to commit violent acts that defy all notions of humanity? And that's what fascinates me. If I were to ever go into psychology, this would be the branch, would be criminal psychology that would fascinate me and what I would want to do. And again, it's the whole thing with wanting to go into law enforcement, but can't stomach it. So it's like, could I stomach doing criminal psychology? Probably not, with hearing some of the crap that they put people through, and let alone children and other vulnerable groups. Probably couldn't, but to read about it in books, it just takes away that. It just adds a couple of barriers so I can handle it. Okay, last two books in this video. This one is a collection of poetry, and it involves cats. So all I need to say is this has 46 ratings with a 4.11 average, written by Seamus Malarkey and Professor Fuzzy McMittens. And this is the title, and as soon as you hear the title, one, it's cats, I'm going to want to go for it. But this title says it all, and it is All Those Places I Could Pee, Poems from Your Cat. I was sold from that title alone. And this last one is another example of wanting to learn a language, and at some point I'll hopefully get to this, who knows when. And this one is to learn Korean for adult beginners. So, and this one is books 1 through 3. It's the Ultimate 5-in-1 Beginner's Crash Course Bundle. Learn Korean with workbooks, grammar, phrases, and stories, plus exclusive bonuses from Explore to Win. So looks like it's 3 books in this trying to learn Korean. Right now my focus is Spanish through the app on my phone, Duolingo, which I think I can actually learn. I know I can learn like German and Russian and Vietnamese and a whole bunch of languages, so will I eventually pick these books up? Probably to supplement that, but depending on how well I do with Spanish, I may just stick with Duolingo if I try to learn another language after Spanish. So that is it. Those are all the nonfiction books that I have for this particular video. Let me know if you've read any of these. Based on the books that I have told you, did it bring to mind some other nonfiction books that you have read that you think would be interesting? Definitely let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.